Yeah, it's gone. Okay, let's play the national anthem.
Hello guys, good evening. The president of Yoruba for freedom, Adeyinka Grandson, is going to address the 30 million Yoruba today. So I hereby welcome him.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you guys for joining us. I can see we have 70 people watching us live now. And even though we have to do this in an impromptu manner because virtually all of our social media accounts has been blocked by obviously the irresponsible and criminally minded Igbo. But we're not giving up on what we are doing. So this evening I'm going to be speaking to the consciousness of the 30 million Yoruba youths. And then you've done greatly by coming out to express yourself in what you have tagged the EndSARS protest. Thank you very much. But there are certain things that you guys need to be aware of. When you started your protest, it was legitimate because you sought for the approval of the government. Then few days after, Nnamdi Kanu, in an irresponsible audio broadcast, directed hip-hop criminals across Yoruba land to attack the political leaders of the Yoruba nation. Now, all of you have seen this audio of Nnamdi Kanu directing that Igbo people in Yoruba land should kill our political leaders, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and everyone was upset about that audio, in which that the Igbo literally went from one place to another to attack every properties that they assume belong to Tinubu. Yet these guys are immigrants in Yoruba land. These guys are not Yoruba citizens. We accommodated them, and their intention is to take our space from us. So this is unfortunate that happened to us. But after that audio was released, there was a huge failure on the part of the political leaders across Yoruba land, meaning our governors, our National Assembly representative, our State Assembly representative. None of them, not a single one of them spoke out against the audio that was released by Nnamdi Kanu to attack Tinubu. You will recollect, in a manner that is very consistent with the behavior of the Igbo. You remember that Azikiwe ran away to London in 1966 when the coup started. You will recollect that Ojukwu ran away to Ivory Coast after he had declared war. Again, Nnamdi Kanu has disappeared, and in his typical manner as a coward soul, he even denied his own voice, the audio that he has produced and which is now public knowledge. But one thing it is discerning about the attitude of the Yoruba political leaders. Our governors, be it the governor of Lagos State, Sanwo-Olu, Akeredolu, the governor of Ondo State, Fayemi, the governor of Ekiti State, and a host of other governors, they became governors with the name and financial support of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but they did absolutely nothing. They said nothing against the atrocity of Nnamdi Kanu when he made that audio. So we are unhappy about that. But the young Yoruba for Freedom reacted on behalf of the Yoruba nation, having observed the failure of the Yoruba leaders, particularly those governors, senators, and state house of assembly members that became elected politicians across Yoruba land using the name and financial support of Tinubu. When our leaders refused to act, YYF spoke and we issued a 48 hours ultimatum to the Igbo people to leave Yoruba land. Folks, I can tell you that since 1945, that the Igbo have been claiming that Yoruba land, particularly Lagos, is no man's land. For the first time in 1945, they were worried, they were scared that they are going to lose their bread and butter across Yoruba land. For the first time since 1945, they realized that they are actually foreigners in Yoruba land. We have been able to show beyond any reasonable doubt that Yoruba land belongs to Yoruba people. It does not belong to the Igbo people. But we spoke out for the Yoruba nation, particularly the 30 million Yoruba youth. We spoke out in your favor. And you will realize one thing. There is a guy called Yerima. It's a Fulani guy. He represented the Hausa Fulani youth. He has issued countless ultimatums to the Igbo to leave the North. Not on a single occasion has he ever been denied by the political leaders in Hausa Fulani land or the political leaders in the North, as it were. Not on a single instance has he ever been arrested or people call for his arrest. Every now and then, Yerima will issue a public statement giving Igbo ultimatum to leave the North. But none of the political leadership or political leaders in the North has ever denied this guy. They embrace him. The actions of the Yoruba governors is unfortunate. It shows and it discourages the young Yoruba to fight for the interests of the Yoruba nation. Having said that, people dislike the young Yoruba for Freedom because of our support for the Yoruba APC. When we started, everybody embraced our movement because we were advocating for a return to regional government, otherwise Oduduwa Republic. But we look at the political exigency across Nigeria and we realize that we cannot get Oduduwa Republic or a return to regional government without playing politics. Upon which we decided to support the Yoruba APC, being a conservative government and being the political party that has always been advocating for a return to regional government. We embrace them, but the same governors from these political parties that we embrace undermine our leadership, undermine our movement with the statement made by Akeredolu. So we're asking this governor one fundamental thing. Why was it that your actions denied the Yoruba youth the ability to control the influx of the Igbo into Yoruba land? We want the Yoruba governor to respond in a public manner the same way they've responded to the ultimatum given by YYF. We are asking the Yoruba governor of Lagos State, Sanwo-Olu, the Yoruba governor of Ondo State, Akeredolu, the Yoruba governor of Ekiti State, Fayemi, and the others to now officially make an official response to the audio that Nnamdi Kanu released, which directed Igbo to assassinate our political leaders, Tinubu. If they refuse to do this in due course, we might have to review our relationship with the Yoruba APC. We want the Yoruba governor to officially proscribe IPOB across Yoruba land. IPOB members across Yoruba land must be arrested. I will tell you this, there is a propaganda of the IPOB people led by Nnamdi Kanu that Nnamdi Kanu is in England. Nnamdi Kanu is not anywhere in the United Kingdom. The police confirmed this to me on Monday, the 26th of October, that Nnamdi Kanu is in Singapore. We believe that he's moving between Singapore and Malaysia. He is a coward. He cannot be in England and be challenging the English the way I have challenged the English. He will have been put in prison because the English establishment knows that he's a criminal, he's very corrupt, he's just using the leverage of Biafra to defraud these people. So all the propaganda that Nnamdi Kanu is in England is a lie. He's not in anywhere in United Kingdom. I can see a lot of Igbo trying to flag us, so I'm encouraging the Yoruba that are watching us to love and like this. We have 306 people watching us right now, and I believe that the majority of them are Igbo. So we are challenging the Yoruba governors to make an official statement proscribing the IPOB across Yoruba land. This is what we are asking the Yoruba governors to do, and we are also asking them to make an official response to the audio released by Nnamdi Kanu. And then there's another thing that we are asking. Several Igbo celebrities tweeted fake news, fake pictures of Lekki massacre, which have turned out to be fake. It has been confirmed even by the BBC, which is known for fake news anyway. So we are asking the governor, in view of the judicial panel of inquiry that has been set up, to bring these Igbo celebrities who tweeted fake news when these onslaughts were going on in respect of the NSAS. These are the things that we are asking the Yoruba governors to do. And I would like to talk about the first reactions of Governor Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State. After the shooting, he had blamed the shooting on forces beyond my control. That is what he has blamed the shooting on. He denied that he gave the orders to the military to kill anybody over the protest. The Young Yoruba for Freedom, we believe the assertion credited to the governor of Lagos State. We reject the assertion made by the military that it was Sanwo-Olu who asked them to be present at Lekki toll gate. We reject that assertion. Why is it that we rejected the assertion? The military is under the command and control of the minority Fulani. The minority Fulani is being supported by the English establishment. So they are trying to create a narration that the killings that happened in Lagos was on the directive of the governor, which is not. We have been asking for the decentralization of Nigeria, which Tinubu has always proposed to be decentralized democracy. We want the system to be the way it is in United Kingdom, whereby the Scottish govern their own space, the English govern their own space, the Northern Irish govern their own space, and the Welsh govern their own space. We're asking for the kind of federalism that is also practicable in America, whereby each state in America is like an independent nation. They control their own police, they control their own military, they control their taxes, they control their own resources. This is what we've been asking for. But for so long, the Igbo and the Fulani have been rejecting the decentralization of Nigeria back to regional government. So whatever the military are now saying that they have acted on the authority of the governor of Lagos State is nothing but false. There is no governor in Nigeria that has such power to dictate to the military. So the narration of the military, I'm asking the Young Yoruba to reject it totally. What Governor Sanwo-Olu could have done is for the federal government to observe the protests that have turned violent as a result of Nnamdi Kanu directive to his Igbo people to go and kill Tinubu and destroy his business interests. So I want you to reject that narration, because if we allow the military under the control of Fulani to fool you as young people that a governor actually has an authority over the military, we will have been able to destroy what we're trying to build. We're asking for a return to regional system of government, which the Igbo and the Hausa Fulani are rejecting. So the narration is totally rejected by the young Yoruba for freedom, and we're asking the 30 million Yoruba youth to also reject that narration. There is no governor that has such authority to order military around. But if we go back to regional system of government, whereby we have decentralized democracy, there will be Yoruba National Guard, which will be the Yoruba military. It will be under the command and control of the House of Others. Then we will have the Yoruba Police Service that will be under the command and control of the Yoruba Assembly. Such power are not in the hands of our governor. Currently, the Igbo and the Hausa Fulani are rejecting this. So the allegations of the military that it was Sanwo-Olu who invited them to come and bring about peace is rejected. Sanwo-Olu could have invited them to come and keep peace, not to kill people, because Sanwo-Olu does not have the power to order the military around. Who has that power is the president of Nigeria. That's why we've been saying that the power of the president is enormous, it's huge. So you have to decentralize this. And I know that we have over 821 people watching us now. I want you to love and like so that we can have a proper thing. So guys, there is a need for devolution of power back to the region. This is what we are asking the young Yoruba all over the Yoruba speaking state, whether you are in Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Osun, Ekiti, and Ondo, plus the 12 Yoruba speaking local government in Kwara, the 6 Yoruba speaking local government in Kogi, the 3 Yoruba Ishekiri speaking local government in Delta, and Edo, Akoko Edo in Edo State. We are asking you to demand for devolution of power. Hence, SARS is a big mistake, because that is not what is going to change the course of history for the Yoruba nation. But the demand for devolution of power has always been rejected by the Igbo and the Fulani, because they are parasites living on the wealth of the Yoruba nation. They don't want to grow their own economy. They want to continue to depend on us. So this should be your demands going forward. Devolution of power back to the region. And I want to sharpen your insight into what happened in Chile. It's the same thing that is going on in Nigeria. The people in Chile decided to have enough. Why? Because of the growing inequality in their country. They said that the constitution of their country, which was written by Pinochet more than 5-6 decades ago, is no longer tenable now. It is the same problem that we are having in Nigeria. In 1957 to 1959, we wrote the Nigerian constitution in London. The constitution was to be parliamentary along regional government. But the Igbo came in 1966 and suspended that constitution, and Hausa Fulani subsequently wrote the current constitution, which we have, the 1999 constitution. It is the same thing that happened in Chile. But what happened in Chile? The people went onto the streets and protested against the constitution. Why? They said that the constitutions allow private sectors to be in command and control of housing, education, and health, which the people rejected. So the government in power was voted to power. The government in Chile now was voted into power to allow change to the constitution. That was the promise the government made. It was the same thing why we voted APC in 2015 to bring about devolution of power. But when Buhari got there, he refused to give us devolution of power. He refused. But the guy that was voted into power in Chile promised that if he's voted into power, he will give the country a new constitution. Today, a referendum has been held and the people voted to have a new constitution. The people also voted for the kind of people who will write those constitutions. So now, the people have voted in Chile. 9 months will be given to the people who are going to write the constitution. They will finalize the constitution by 2021. By 2022, the constitution will be taken back to the people in a referendum for them to either accept or reject it. That has always been the beauty of democracy. It has always been the desire of the Yoruba that we go back to regional system of government since 1967, when Awolowo spoke on May 1967, demanding for a return to regional government. It is over 54 years. Our generation is still asking for the same thing. So young people who are watching me, you are more than 900 now. You have to ask for devolution of power. That is the way to go about it. Asking for answers is very, very ridiculous. It's not going to help us to change or bring about the change that we desire. So in the referendum that was done in Chile, 2 questions were asked. One was that if they want a new constitution, the people voted yes. The kind of body that will draw up the new constitution, the people said they rejected their National Assembly. They don't want their National Assembly to write a new constitution. They want ordinary individuals from the street who show interest to be part of the constitutional committee to bring themselves forward and for people to vote for them. That is how it is done. We don't want the Nigerian National Assembly to review the constitution or to give us a new constitution because it is not properly represented. The ethnic groups are not represented in the National Assembly. We want a new constitution written by the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. These are Yoruba, Hausa, Fulani, Igbo, Kanuri, Ijo, Efik Ibibio, Nupe, and others. These are the people that must sit around the table to fashion a new constitution for Nigeria. But the Igbo and Hausa, Fulani continue to reject this because the unity system pays them. They use the fund generated in Yoruba land to fund economic growth and development in Hausa land and in Igbo land. That's why the two of them are working hand in hand. Don't fall for the gimmick of the Igbo. Don't fall for the propaganda of the Igbo. They will always forever support the minority Fulani because the Igbo nation knows one thing. With Fulani in control of the presidency of Nigeria, there will never be devolution of power back to the region. There will never be a return to parliamentary system. There will never be regional government. Fulani and the Igbo will forever maintain this system of unity system. So the arrangements being made, the picture being painted that the Yoruba and Igbo should work together is fraudulent. Look at what happened in the 2019 election. Fayose stood the test of time for the Igbo nation. He even went to court to stand surety for Nnamdi Kanu. He spoke against Buhari. He condemned the atrocity of Buhari, who went to kill Igbo youth in September 2017. And he showed the love he has to contest for the presidency of Nigeria. What happened? During the primaries of the PDP, the same Igbo nation that Fayose stood the test of time for decided to get money from Atiku Abubakar, and they gave Atiku Abubakar, a Fulani, the presidential ticket of the PDP. So all of the nonsense plan that they are showing you, we have a new thing that has been circulated now, in which Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò and some Igbo celebrities and some Yoruba liberals will be having a meeting online to showcase to you that the Yoruba and the Igbo are working together. We've never worked together, guys. 1959, NCNC became first. The action group was second. NCNC became first because NCNC was Yoruba party, but it was appropriated by the Igbo. Some Yoruba still voted for that party. Rather than for NCNC and Action Group to form the coalition government, the first government in Nigeria, the Igbo went for the Hausa Fulani in 1959. They did the same thing in 1964. Look, let me tell you something that happened in 1964. Awolowo was in prison. He was first put under house arrest in 1962. By 1963 September, they jailed him for 10 years in prison. The Yoruba and the Igbo held a meeting between 1963 and 1964 for election to be boycotted. But while the Yoruba boycotted the election, the Igbo went and voted. That was why the Action Group didn't have enough electoral posts in 1964, because Igbo denied that relationship in 1964. The Igbo did the same thing in 1979. They voted for Shagari, a Fulani. In 1983, the Igbo did the same nonsense. They voted for Shagari again in 1983. During the 1993 election, the Igbo nation voted for Tofa, a Fulani. During the 1999 election, the Igbo rejected Olufalaye. That has been the nature of the Igbo. Even up to 2019, the Igbo nation voted for Atiku Abubakar after Fayose had helped them. So the propaganda that the Igbo and the Yoruba nation are working together, this is just a gimmick and targeted at Tinubu. They don't want Tinubu to be president in 2023 because they know he's the only man who will bring about devolution of power. This is what the Igbo don't like, this is what the Fulani don't like, and this is what the majority of the half Yoruba dislike as well. They don't want us to go back to regional government. As long as Nigeria continue with this unitary system, we will never be great as a people, particularly the Yoruba nation. The best of our brain will continue to waste away. So don't fall for the gimmick. The Yoruba nation and the Igbo nation can never work together because the Igbo nation does not desire a return to regional government. So you have to be conscious of that. You have to be conscious of that. Let me quickly round up, and by teaching you, I know we are over 1,000 people watching me live. I want to say something to you that happened in 2012, which has repeated itself in 2020. In 2012, Obama was the president of America. Then Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who has an American passport, wanted to be the Director General of the WTO, World Trade Organization. Obama, being a Libra, you will have expected him to support Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. He did not, simply because Okonjo-Iweala is just holding American passport. She cannot protect the interests of America. At that time, Obama rooted for somebody from South Korea. You know why? Because South Korea and America are allies. That's why we've been saying that we want Yoruba to form a super special relationship with the good people of America. Now, what happened again? Okonjo-Iweala has been appointed or selected to be the Director General of the WTO. Again, President Trump, who is conservative, you know, Obama is Libra, President Trump is conservative. He said that he will veto that role. He won't allow Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala to be the Director General of the World Trade Organization, despite the fact that Okonjo-Iweala holds an American passport. She's American by the virtues of her passport. But both Libra in America and conservative presidents in America, they have rejected her candidacy. You know why? Because in America, it is American first. Whether you are Libra or you are conservative, this is something that the Yoruba PDP must embrace. This is what is lacking in them, self-preservation. The Yoruba PDP are hell-bent on destroying Tinubu as a person, or on destroying Tinubu as the prospect to lead Nigeria out of the doldrum. So something you guys have to learn. Self-preservation is imperative. Where if you can see that in the way the Caucasian thinks in America, they think the white American first. The English think about the English first. This is something that we must learn. We have over 1,000 people, I think 1,200 people watching us. So you have to do one thing, self-preservation. Think about the interests of the Yoruba nation at all time. Now, President Trump is saying he will reject Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. But let me tell you the joker. Okonjo-Iweala wants that job. She is willing to sign a oath of secrecy to say to America, if you approve my candidacy to lead WTO, I will serve the interests of America first and last. She is willing to do that because she wants that job. So you guys can see how powerful the United States of America is. You guys can see the need for the Yoruba nation to have super special relationship with the United States of America. I want to call on all the Yoruba leaders who are in PDP, who are so destructive in nature and they don't want to hear anything about Tinubu, to think long and hard about the behavior of Obama in 2012 when he stopped Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, and think about the behavior of President Trump trying to stop the candidacy of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Everything you have to think about is self-preservation. You think about the future of your children. That is why the Caucasians and the English are better than the Yoruba people. We Yoruba people, we don't think about the future of our descendants. We just want to live here and now. we care less about what happened to our children. This is a very bad behavior. So to the young people all over the Yoruba land watching us, I want you to have this at the back of your mind. Sanwo-Olu is not responsible for the killing that happened in Lekki. It is the military that must be held responsible for this. And having said this, we are calling on these Yoruba governors who quickly went out to issue a condemnation of my person and our movement. We are requesting them, as a matter of fact, to respond officially, make an official response to Nnamdi Kanu audio in which he instructed his followers, the IPOB member, to go and attack Tinubu and destroy his business. Our governors must make official response. We have seen the reactions of the governor of Rivers State, Mr. Wike. The Yoruba governors too must respond. The Yoruba governor must proscribe IPOB throughout Yoruba land. Anyone that is a member of IPOB in Yoruba land must be arrested and subsequently jailed. And we are requesting the Yoruba governors to call out all the Igbo celebrities who tweeted fake news on the alleged Lekki massacre to be brought before the judicial panel of inquiry to answer to the questions that will be put forward to them. And any one of them that is found guilty of false representation, misleading the general public, should face the consequences of whatever the judicial panel has recommended. Thank you so much, guys. I'm sorry that we're coming very, very late. Thank you very much. God bless you. Do you want to round it up so that we can just...
All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Have a good night.
Cheers.
Bye. Cheers.